Well, sure, these elections were sort of a drama, epic drama for a lot of Americans, and lest we forget that these elections is about the American people, their desire to live in the sort of a country they wish to, and certainly the world community was paying much attention to the elections because a lot of things depend on who is the owner of the highest post in that country and influence in other countries as well. We should consider this president not from what he has been saying during the campaign, because from time to time politicians are trying to exploit some fears of the electorate and the ideas that could not be implemented. But some objective things like his approval ratings. And now we understand that it will be not an easy presidential candidacy for Mr. Trump, simply because the nation was divided. Half of the nation voted for the different agenda, for the different candidate, for more liberal, for more the traditional policies. And from the other hand, we should have a look at the some framework and some interests of the United States, objective interests in the world, where America plays crucial role, and we should assess whether it's possible to withdraw from these areas, especially in Europe, in the Middle East, in the Far East. And given this picture assembled together, we will see whether it's possible to fulfill some very extraordinary promises of Mr. Trump. I don't think that we should portray Mr. Trump as a pro-Russian candidate. He is pro-American in the way how he sees the role of the United States. Certainly, the rest of the world, especially the free world, is not happy with some of his ideas, like withdrawing from the alliances, seizing some agreements on free trade, putting a lot of barriers on the free trade, which has been the policy of the United States for at least 100 years in general, and at least 70 years after the Second World War. So this is a matter of concern. But from the other hand, we should see the interests in how he is going to implement it. With regard to Russia, certainly he will try to communicate with Mr. Putin and to find the common ground in several issues. But I'm not sure that there is a huge potential of such talks and or such agreements, simply because Russia has not, there is nothing that Russia can propose to the United States. Russia doesn't have a positive agenda. And the United States is not in need of some Russian officers, like it was during the candidacy of George W. Bush or Obama. So it's not that important that Russia provides the territory or the corridor to the Afghani bases. Russia is not that important in terms of the Iranian issue, simply because it has been settled by Obama. It's not that important in various other issues. And in Syria, for example, the interests of the United States and their allies are in contradiction with that of Mr. Putin and President Assad. So I don't think that these objective issues could be settled. From the other hand, is it possible to agree on something, to have a gentleman agreement with Mr. Putin if he violated not just gentleman agreements with the Americans, but the international law and his local law as well, his constitution? So the real ground for any partnership, any good cooperation with any country is based on trust, which is not an issue between the Americans and the Russians at the moment. Secondly, the transparency of the policy. Thirdly, the clear understanding of each other's interests, real interests, not just the made-up interests. And the ability to fulfill something. Russia is not a great power in any term except of the territory and the nuclear arsenal. If you're talking about their nuclear capabilities, that Mr. Obama has signed with Mr. Putin the agreements on the reduction of the strategic offensive weapons, and Russia is fulfilling this in full. So Russia is interested in threat reduction in this field. But if we are talking about other means of power, like the convenient armed forces, like economy, like technology and other stuff, Russia is not just a regional state, it's a small state. We can compare with some small countries of Europe. So that's why there is nothing Russia can propose to the Americans valuable to change the course of the United States.